start a live interview with a very amazing woman who you're gonna get a chance to meet today in person, and her name is art intelligence and emotional intellect that a lot of people are talking about lately. Um, I chose Layla for this particular topic because I think there's gonna be nobody better than her will be able to share with you guys the thoughts on what is emotional intellect and heart intelligence, since Layla is actually a life purpose coach, and she's also a founder and the CEO of the Heart School. I am anxiously waiting for her to join, and I can't wait for her to share uh, all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, and all of the insights on the topics of the heart, intelligence, and emotional intellect. Now I'm gonna let Layla join the video, so please be patient. I know how annoying the lives can be at the beginning when these whole technical moments are getting arranged. I myself, honestly, rarely have the patience when I scroll the Instagram feed and I see that, it takes a long time. Hey,
Hi,
welcome,
it worked.
hello, my dear. I'm so
Hi,
happy you're here because these technical moments drive me crazy. I just
I know.
told whoever is already listening or will be listening after, I personally do not have the patience when I scroll the feed and I see live, even the topic is interesting, but this is like this pause,
I
the
know.
technical moment. I'm like, oh no, I can't do it now. My brain is so fast. Like I even when I listen to videos on YouTube, you know what speed I use? 1.75.
Oh,
That's about right for me. I know, it drives my family
oh
crazy. Like,
wow.
really listening to other people when they talk like this. But anyways, hello everybody. Welcome, whoever is joining now or whoever will be watching later. We got something interesting for you today.
Yes, we do.
And here is the Layla that I started introducing, but I think she will do it better herself. Please let our subscribers, followers, visitors know who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Selena. So I started on the heart journey many, many years ago, and it inspired me to do what I do because I really recognize that so many of us don't even know the most important thing about us, which is our heart. And from a very young age, we're disconnected from this sacred space within us. And we only get programmed and taught to exist in this brain, in this space of the human body. So ultimately, what I do is educate and guide people back to this place within them. I am a coach. I also work at a clinic. And yeah, I do a lot of things. My company is Standing Light, which you shared. I founded Standing Light in 2014 to basically shift our world from a mind-based mentality to a heart-based reality. And since then, which it's been 8 years already, um, yeah, many, many, many things, incredible experiences have taken place. I also moved quite a few times in between, and I'm now in Zurich, Switzerland, despite my American accent. And yeah, working one on one. I also am launching Heart Academy, and that goes live on April 6th. So I'm really excited about that. It's pretty much the school that our mind didn't know it wanted, and our heart always truly desired. Because, for me, I actually was born and raised in Switzerland, and I was called stupid by my teacher at 8 years old. Even younger, actually. I mean, in different ways, but like really verbally, like the word was used to my face by like a 70-year-old teacher that just was like, just decided to call me stupid, purely because of my math grade. And there's a story as to why I was bad at math, because as children, we know how to teach ourselves. We have this intuitive knowing, and that's the intelligence of the heart. And so I'm a visual learner, so I was counting with my fingers. in first grade, right? And then a teacher came with her ruler and slapped me on the wrist and said, "Don't do that. You know, you're stupid if you have to count with your fingers." So I developed what they call dyscalculia, which is dyslexia, but with numbers. And I mean, it's just incredible that they even have the difference between being dyslexic with numbers versus letters. Like that just blows my mind. And I only had dyslexia with numbers, and they call it dyscalculia. So I was stupid in math because I was shut off and shut down and made stupid and wrong through my own innate way of learning how to operate and commune with that language of numbers, right? And purely because of that grade in my math department, I was deemed stupid, and I really took that limiting belief on as my truth from 8 years old, probably even 6 years old. But from 6 years old, let's say, until 25 years old, I truly, truly believed I was stupid. And yet, nothing in my life added up to that limiting belief because I was the youngest backstage manager at London Fashion Week. I already transplanted and adapted very, very quickly to a whole new culture many times. There was so much in my life that if I really was stupid, I would have never been able to do that. I did end up graduating with honors, but once we moved to the States. So all of that just led me to recognizing that there is a deeper intelligence and I'm going to figure it out. And then I discovered heart math, and that was what led me to what I do now. And so Standing Light was born before I discovered heart math because my intention was to help individuals understand that standing in their light is really the only job we have, but everybody has their own way to get there, right? And ultimately, it means to do what you love. So I developed retreats and events and workshops that I got to share around the world with amazing organizations and companies like Mind Valley as well. We did amazing collaborations. And then now I get to share this information in Switzerland. I just moved back a couple of years ago. I was in New York the last 6 years, and I'm sharing heart intelligence here. And yeah, it's just incredible. So Heart Academy comes from the deepest, deepest place in my heart because I want to help as many women, especially, realize the power within them, this intelligent force within them, so that they can heal at the core. Because this is where it all comes back to, and we'll go into that because there's so much to share about it. But yeah, that's a little bit of what I do.
That's very interesting things you just said. I have so many ideas to develop throughout this life, but I'll
Yeah,
start with one small remark. People are very different all
yeah,
over the world. Their levels are different, levels of understanding the picture of this world. First of all, there are more of a material people, financial oriented goal. They choose money or successes in the material terms of this world as their orienteer. And there are people of a spiritual nature who look for something within them, who look for another high, like a
yeah,
bodybuilder goes in the gym, raises the muscle, they feel really good about themselves, they feel strong, yeah. Or millionaires, or when they become billionaires, they feel better and better and better when they get more money. So spiritual people, they develop spiritual muscles, and one of them is intuition, which is so powerful. And I speak a lot about intuition, which because it does intertwine with a lot of other topics that people are discussing nowadays. When you're misled, you only have your intuition that can put you right on track. Not a teacher in school or university or anywhere can tell you what's best for you, same as with going and getting sessions with professionals. They can guide you, yes, they can really put you on track, right? Or like astrology
yeah,
or anything,
yeah,
but you are ultimately making your own decision. From my social media still develops, I don't have as much as many of a spiritual crowd yet, like you do, for example. Yeah, I have a lot of more of a financial oriented people, women empowerment, this and that, but they like the examples that I give, how the spirituality intertwines with the material realm, how beneficial is to develop both sides of the brain. And of course, heart will be that portal, that point. Those who know about chakras, chakra points, those are familiar with the fact that heart is right here in the middle. It's like a gateway. Without it, you cannot go further. But it doesn't mean that this is the only center you have to develop. You have to be fully developed in order for each and one of the chakra points to operate well. So one of the practical example about light that Leyla mentioned before. Material people would think, light, what are they talking about? I don't see any light. Where is my money, right? But what happens with the light when we talk about the physical? There are insects that are called fireflies. Fireflies usually live in the I don't know how it's in English, medium climate zone, which has like 4 seasons. Typically,
Mm.
they live in those areas of the world where it's winter, summer, spring, and all the other seasons. So in the summertime, fireflies come out. You cannot confuse them with anything. Those insects are very beautiful. They're lighting, they're literally like sparkles. What do you see at the night? As soon as the twilight comes, fireflies start flying, and you can see them like a beautiful night stars. I was trying to catch one. Seriously, I was running around the field. I was trying to catch one. It's summer 2 years ago. I noticed one thing. As soon as you approach the firefly, you try to grab that light. You basically try to invade their personal boundaries. The light shuts down. I catch the firefly. It was right here in my hands. It wasn't lighting anymore. You know why? Insight that came to me, fear. I scared that little thing because that thing is about the size, it's not even as big as a butterfly, but the fear is the major factor that closes your light. And we're not going to talk about politics, don't you guys worry. That's enough of that stuff on the internet. But one of the reasons of what's going on in the world right now, and please, if you haven't seen Layla's very last post, please watch her live that she did on February 22. It was a very special day, 22 to 2022, very, very significant number sequence. Layla was talking about a lot of important stuff and the interconnection of all the events in the world and the fact that people are kept in fear now. It's undeniable. This is not even that much of a physical war as an informational war, as a lot of my coaching friends are talking about. This is informational war, and their job is to clutter your brain and your heart, put a lot of fear in you so you are shrinking like that firefly that you try to catch and loses its light. So the teachers in the school who do what they did to you, I had some issues as well, and I'm sure there are so many people who are watching or will be watching, they will recognize themselves because incompetent teachers like that,
Yeah.
they do a very strong psychological damage on the
Mm.
individual. Somebody will tell you, hey, you're slow. It doesn't mean you are. You just take your time and maybe you are even have a better result at the end than those who rush. Maybe you have a more of a earth element in your nature, so you need to take time to calculate and be more careful, versus fire people, they come and win and take and then make mistake but then they do it again. It's everybody's so different and you have to find what you are. The teachers in school, they're not taught how to find psychological approach to each child and develop their best skills. They just do a plain, everybody's the same, you have to be at certain speed or whatever, but everybody's so different. That's why I tell my parents, clients who have children, this is so important. It's crucial for you to learn your astrological chart and soul formula of your baby before you put them in the wrong direction, so you can find them the best way to develop both sides of the brain, both logical and both creative. Those are two wings we cannot fly without in this world that we live. Layla.
It's so funny that you say that the template of school is provided, right? And it's just this one way basically. And yet then they give you the option to go do whatever you want, right? Then you can go be a lawyer or an artist or whatever it may be. And that makes absolutely no sense, because we should have that option beforehand to even learn how to choose, to tap into ourselves and see what do we want. And there are many different school systems now. I mean, there's a school actually here where I live. I just found out about it, where they don't teach. They literally don't teach. They let the children come and they get to choose what they want to apply themselves to and with. And it's intuitive learning. It's incredible. And these children become geniuses. I mean, it really, there's many options now, but our typical system that most of us grow up in and know, it's a failing system, right? And it's funny because you're we're in a system where we actually have to almost defend and explain what people like I do. And yet the clinic that I work at now, it's the most exclusive clinic in the world, where literally my clients are billionaires, are the royalty of the world. And all that they need is to reconnect with their heart and recognize their true purpose, because they've lost purpose. They've lost who they are. So either they're drowning themselves in drugs and alcohol, or they have a nervous breakdown, or whatever it may be, right? And it destroys their whole life, because they have everything. I mean, everything. We can't even imagine that kind of everything, right? In the 3D term. And yet they have nothing. And that's when this work comes into play. And it's been kind of hidden because most people are so scared of it, which ultimately just means that they're truly scared of their own power, their own light, right? And as you shared, the light contracts, right? So I love getting to the scientific aspect of this, because I geek out on the heart. And this is all scientifically proven now through the Institute of Heart Math, which was founded by like 20 super geeks over 30 years ago. And they all decided to start the researching the science of the heart. So there's over 200, probably even more, peer-reviewed studies on the science of the heart. So anything I'm going to share today, unless I say otherwise, is scientifically proven. And a little caveat of that is that I truly believe, and we all know this, whatever's not scientifically proven yet, it's just a matter of time, right? We just don't have the technology or the funding, because most of these studies are also, funded by huge pharma organizations, and they kind of control what gets published ultimately. So unless you have private funding, you can't really do what you want to do to prove it. Anyway, but yeah, with the heart, first off, Heart Intelligence 101, quick facts. It has 40,000 neurons. And scientists at HeartMath, they call this, they've dubbed it the little brain. Not to be confused with power, because it's not little at all in power. It is actually the most powerful brain in the human body. These 40,000 neurons in the heart produce the greatest electromagnetic field, EMF, natural EMF. And there's a distinction in that, because we know EMFs as these bad things that, have a negative effect on us, but that's the unnatural EMFs that we interact with on a daily basis through our phones, through our devices, our laptops, whatever it may be, right? Because ultimately what they're doing is that EMF is its vibration, and you can measure vibrations now, it's vibrating at such a low frequency that it really, like, it affects our natural vibration of the electromagnetic field of our heart. So when we are in coherence, our natural human heart's electromagnetic field, which basically, if you can imagine a donut, like literally a donut that you would eat, I don't suggest it, very unhealthy. However, the shape of a donut, right? It has this hole in the middle, and then it goes around like that. The electromagnetic field that the heart produces is the exact same shape, but instead of just being this narrow, we basically exist once we expand our light. So I'll get to that, because when we're in the energy of fear, when we're in the feeling of fear of any kind, whether it's anger or depression or um, even pride, you know, I mean, just the lower vibration. So if you Google the Hawkins scale of vibration, you'll see all the different vibrational emotions, right? And so
This is
anything
amazing.
under,
We should attach it to this live or post a photo of
yes,
those. It's so easy to understand. The
it
scale
is.
is basically from 0
Yeah,
to 100, how low you vibrate if you're proud.
yeah,
For
yeah.
example, you're just missing out. You know, some people think,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm proud, that makes me better," but in reality, you're missing the point.
Well, that depends because
Sorry for interrupting.
no, no, no. Thank you for that input. I think there's a distinction between ego pride and self-love pride, right? Like you really, and I know you know this, but I want to make that distinction because it's not a bad thing to feel proud of yourself or to feel proud. But when it comes from an egotistical, narcissistic, you know, I'm better than others, like where it creates separation and division, yeah, that's a lower vibration. So what I find fascinating on the scale of consciousness is that courage is where we start to expand. And I'll share, you know, when I teach this in corporations or whatever, I have this image that I added everything to the scale because I feel like there's certain things that help people understand it. But if you think of like um, shame is the lowest vibration, and I forget what it is, but I mean like enlightenment is basically like up here, okay? And where the field or the energy starts to expand is at courage. And courage, the root word of courage is kor, which is heart. So we start to expand once we connect with our heart and ultimately connect with the vibration of gratitude, of love, of appreciation. And those energies are technologies, they're inputs, they're codes that we can input into our human system to expand. So this natural electromagnetic field that emits out of our heart, when we are in the higher vibrations, let's say love, the field is so expansive that our whole body is actually inside of that field. We are in love, quite literally, like in the vibration of love, right? And this field expands, well, they say like 4 to 9 feet or meters. I forget actually. I'm confused between the States and Switzerland right now. I'm adjusting, but it expands quite wide as far as they've been able to test. I truly believe it can expand beyond our wildest imaginations. And the fascinating thing is that Earth produces the same electromagnetic field from her core through and by which our fields are directly connected and in communication through. So when we are in coherence, and when I say coherence, because a lot of the work that I teach is coherence work, it's also resilience work, because to be resilient means to have a strong heart, that no matter what comes at you, because life is going to happen, it's going to happen no matter what, right? But when we work our heart out, which is what I teach, is how to, I'm like the heart trainer, you know, so you come to the Heart Academy and we will work your heart out and it will become so strong that no matter what comes at you, you'll be able to stay strong in heart and in light, and nothing will heal you off center. And you stay centered and you stay in love and you stay in appreciation and knowing that whatever's happening is happening for you. It's the medicine of life. We signed up to the school of life for a reason. Like, we're not just here by chance. We are here by design. And our human bodies are also by design, like you shared. When we expand, like, our center is the heart. That isn't by coincidence, that's by design. And I always say that the human body is the most intelligent device ever designed, but we have yet to actually fully activate the full human potential because we're only operating from 10% of our brain. Whereas when we actually activate this brain, I mean, the potentials are infinite. So, I mean, I'm working on the leading edge of of humanity basically, and it's just the most fascinating place to be. And Dame Minouche Shafik, she's been named by the Queen of England, and she is the director of the London School of Economics. She shared this quote in an interview a couple of years ago, and it was profound. She said, in the past, jobs were based on muscle. Now they're based on the brain. In the future, they'll be based on the heart. This is the director of the London School of Economics, let's remember. So,
Wow,
with
that's very
all,
big. That's very big. It tells something. It's
of course it does.
I
Yeah.
wanted to, before you continue, to
Yeah.
congratulate you. I didn't get a chance to reply. I saw our group. Layla created amazing community, Standing Light. It's over 100 people, right? Maybe even more.
Oh, I don't
I
even
see.
know.
What are you
I
doing
don't I
with
don't
this
think it can
group?
be more than 100 on Instagram.
It's in WhatsApp. That's where we have
Yes,
a
that's what I
chat.
meant. That's what I
And
meant.
I
Sorry.
saw briefly, vaguely this morning, there was a post about you and somebody else, or maybe you're just included in it, but there is a post about this big event with Joe Dispenza, very big guy, very famous, a lot of followers all over the world. Ed Sheeran, the musician, even those skilled celebrities, they come together to the understanding of the unity of the heart and its importance. I see like people used to have this saying, I don't even remember what was it about. Orange is new black. I guess heart is new brain.
I like that. Well, yes, the heart, we have three brains in the human body. So we have this brain, which everybody considers the brain. And then we have this brain, the heart brain, and then we have the gut brain. The gut brain and the heart brain are made out of thousands of neurons. And obviously there's so many neurons in this brain, right? But we just think of brain as this like two hemispherical organ in the human body. But this is also an organ. The heart is also an organ, right? So I actually want to break that down because we think of intelligence as just logic or just whatever happens in here in this brain, right? But if we can relearn this or unlearn what we know and learn this, and this is so vital for us to understand, I believe, the intelligence of this brain, of the head brain, is logic. And we all need logic, right? The intelligence of the heart brain is intuition. And the intelligence of the gut brain is instinct. And so when we cleanse ourselves, when we do the work, all brains are online and they all function coherently. So we have full capacity logic going on. We have full capacity heart intuition going on. We have full capacity instinct going on. And that's when we activate and are operating at our full potential. The thing is that, as we know, right, most of us have major gut issues. So instinct is basically thrown out the window, right? Because how can we have instinct or clear instinct when we have all kinds of yeast and gut infections, right? So that's why it's very important to eat healthy, to cleanse. And then the heart, right? We go through life and we go through a heartbreak, we go through pain, we go through judgment, all kinds of really painful things. And there's so many moments where I catch myself almost like welting closed because I just think of children and how they are born so pure, so pure. And they just start to shut down because of the horrible things that get done to them, right? And that is something I can't ever understand, besides the fact that just hurt people. But what if we created a society, a generation where we taught people how to lead from the heart so that we don't hurt anymore and then pass that hurt on? And that's ultimately the mission that I'm on. But coming back to this intelligence, the intuition and the heart, it shuts down because of it builds all these walls and it shuts down and it contracts because of the pain and the suffering that we've gone through. So then we don't have intuition because it's shut down, right? And then we go here, and then that's pretty much the only brain that's functional. However, well, and let me back up, it's only functional because from 6 years old minimum, when we enter first grade, we've been hyper trained in this department of the human body, but that's it. Like from here down, it's like shutdown zone, you know, it's like, is anything there, you know, hoo-hoo. And so we hyper focus on this brain. And I believe that there's a reason for that, but you know, you can take your own red pill one day and figure that one out yourself. But this brain is very necessary. However, when we operate from here and when we lead from logic and this brain, we are so slow because it means that you are constantly judging, right? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this wrong? Is this right? And judgment slows us down completely. So instead of only using this brain and constantly being in judgment, which ultimately separates anyway, right? When we're in judgment, I'm separated from you or anything because I'm actually judging it. And we need judgment, we need logic. These are vital, what would we call them? Faculties. But intuition, it's like immediate. We know, right? It's just like, I know my name is Leyla. Like I don't even think about it. It's just a known. And the way energy enters the body, and this is a study that they did at HeartMath as well, which is so fascinating, but information enters the body first and foremost in the heart. And they figured this out through the most fascinating study ever, where they hooked somebody up, like they hooked them all up, all these, what's it called? Like nodes on the head. And then they also hooked them up to a heart rate variability device. And then and this person was staring at a screen, and the screen flashed images, single images of something that either would shock them or make them feel pain or sadness, or an image of like joy and excitement and connection and love, right? So it was basically low vibe images and high vibe images. And it was random. They didn't know which image would go on, nor the scientists or the person, right? So the person is just looking at the screen and the person is just seeing these images flash before them. And what they found is that the heart responded before the image ever came on the screen. So before, let's say, an image of a snake, like, you know, just like about to like bite and attack, before that snake image appeared on the screen, the human's heart rate started rising and becoming incoherent. The heart is the sixth sense. It's the psychic, intuitive
That's exactly
brain.
what it is.
Yes. And it knows before we ever see it with our own two eyes, right? And that's the power of it. It knows before this even knows. And so what I also want to share is that this brain sends more information to this brain than this brain to this brain. So the heart brain sends more information to the head brain than the head brain to the heart brain. And it does it first. So the heart first sends these signals of information to this brain, then this brain, the head brain, judges it and like kind of tries to filter it, and then that's how we usually react, right? But if we know this, right, because ultimately, let's say I am not feeling good, I'm feeling depressed or sad, right? So my heart is contracted, it's incoherent, it's like all over the place, it's riddled with anxiety, and those signals are being sent up to the head brain, and then the head brain goes into fight or flight. It shuts us down, our immune system lowers, right? Because this brain starts sending all these fight or flight signals to the body, and our body starts to respond to it, and then we just start being very reactive in our life. Versus a scenario of, okay, if I know this and I catch myself feeling contracted or depressed or whatever it may be, but I know the tools to actually come into coherence, come into harmony, wouldn't I do that? And so these are the tools that HeartMath developed to basically come into coherence before life takes over you, the negative version of it, and you become a bystander of your life instead of a creator of your life. And it's fascinating to just understand how your human body actually works. And this is the stuff that we should be taught in school.
Oh my God, Layla, so much to say. So I agree with everything. Like you're so good. You're so on point. I just have all these ideas. I wanna don't forget them so we can have a structured life instead of intuitive. However, it's I'm okay for both. Like I just don't want to forget all these ideas that just came to me while you were talking. First of all, yeah, they don't teach us in school a lot of things that we need in life. Let's say even the money topic, they don't teach us how to make money. They teach us how to be an instrument that works for somebody else, that it's just another nail in the big factory, yeah. The other thing is, did you guys notice that before you receive a text message or even like on Instagram or any kind of impulse from the outer world made by another person, an attempt to contact you, maybe a phone call, did you guys notice that you think about that person? I'm sure I'm not the only one in here who actually noticed this weird coincidence. It started happening to me years ago, even after this famous 11:11 when you see on the clock the same time. It's a completely different topic for a whole other video, but isn't it a proof, as a lot of you claim science as the only ethanol way to to judge something on a reasonable scale of its
To believe in
accuracy, right?
something.
It's an ethanol, right? uh, isn't it a proof that you guys have something inside of you that's so powerful that even if you can't explain, but you can't deny its existence, you have the intuition. Each time I randomly, like absolutely randomly, I have a thought that enters my mind or my heart about some person, it's not a coincidence. I know that person is right there thinking about me too. Or just maybe remember, or maybe that person heard a song that reminded of me, or saw the color that I used to wear when, I don't know, something. It can be anything. It can be, we're so connected. And right now, Layla is right for the more, for the, let's say, for the scientific crowd who still measures science as the only ethanol way to prove. Okay, guys, look up online. There's so many movies, documentaries that actually prove that right now energy can be calculated. Energy that a lot of you were denying its existence, but it is right there. And the science, our science, your science is already here running ahead of us and showing us exact numbers and exact calculations and exact measurements of its existence. There's so many movies like Emotion, for example. It talks about the negative emotions that affect our physical and mental body. Where is depression coming from? Women who are offended and they keep this grudge all their life. They like, I don't know how many, 80 maybe more percent of them always end up with a very uh, bad quality, either cancers or other feminine disease like a cancer of the breast or uterus or other. When you store that offense for your man or for whatever happened for your, I don't know, parents, you keep that negative blockage that ultimately reflects not only on your emotional, on your mood, on your, state of mind, on your physical well-being as well. I like the psychosomatics, which is people now call it, it's like an alternative medicine. It's still not there. Like, I know what you're talking about. It's just a matter of time, but yet it helps understand deeper the problems of you or your health issues. Where are the roots? It's not only biological, chemical, physical. It's also, there is something else to it, which is worth, at least worth of you to look at. So I was watching this movie not too long ago, rewatching. It's called Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. I don't know. Oh my God, she's amazing, and the movie is amazing. And it made me think about how amazing would it be to actually activate 100% of your brain? Because what are we using? 20 plus minus? Somebody uses less, somebody
They say
uses more.
10. I heard 10.
Oh, 10. You heard 10. I heard
Yeah,
10
yeah,
years ago. Now I heard that it's actually already, we're getting to 20. We're upgrading,
yeah. Okay, well, it's about time.
Yeah.
No, it's because consciousness is rising, of course. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
consciousness rising. I remember even 10 years ago, clearly remember I read online on a reliable source that we use only 10% of our brain. Now in 2022, if you Google up how much percentage of the brain we're using, it's going to be 20. Hopefully it's going to raise. Imagine what we are going to be capable of if
Yeah.
we actually using 100%. One of the animals, not too many of them, but are dolphins that use, I don't know how much exactly, but they're using way more percentage of their brain than humans. They're so amazing, they're so smart, they're so capable of training, and they're radiate at absolute happiness. Very happy animals by nature, very benevolent. So back to what you mentioned about our three brains, the general brain, the computer, aka the one that's considered that controls all the other systems of the body, the heart brain, and the gut brain, the logic, the intuition, and the instincts. Instincts are usually blocked from the guys, I hope that whoever watches this is familiar with chakras, so we don't have to go to the ABC. But if you don't, think about the colors of the rainbow. Basic seven colors. It's basic seven chakras, which we actually have more of them. But we'll talk about the basic. It's like, I don't know. It's like an engine for the car. You know, you cannot drive a car with one wheel, right? Neither the bicycle. You have to have everything operating so you can efficiently move. So all the chakra points are responsible for certain areas of your life. We really need all of them, not just the heart that we speak about a lot. And we'll explain you why in a second. When you have all chakras balanced, you no longer have obstacles, obstruction on your way to happiness, to prosperity, to love. When you have fears, you have the very first root chakra blockage, and that's your gut. I'm assuming that whatever you have the gut, the instinct, if you have the lower chakras blocked, your guts are not working in your favor. You can get, in trouble. You can sign a wrong contract. You can start dating the wrong guy or the wrong girl, this and that, same as with your intuition. This is why it's very beneficial to get educated on the heart matter. And I would like to learn more about from your Leila's explanation, because I don't think anybody better than you can formulate for us the definition of heart intelligence and emotional intellect and the interconnection, because we're talking about basically both sides of the brain, classically known, right and left, logic and intuition, but how it all intertwines, the heart intelligence and the emotional intellect. Can you please share any thoughts on this matter with us? I would really appreciate that.
Of course. So we speak about EQ and IQ, right? EQ is, I believe, the intelligence of the heart. And so, you know how I explained, like, there's this brain and this brain. So this brain, yes, of course, there's the two hemispheres, and one is more creative and artistic, right, versus the more logical and intellectual, I guess. But intellectual, I feel like, is also quite creative. So anyway, but I would say it really is the matter of both brains coming into coherence and working together. But ultimately, emotional intelligence and heart intelligence are one and the same. We just didn't really have the science to explain emotional intelligence before, but now we do. But to me, it's crazy because, I mean, this science, this has been known for, I mean, 30 years, or maybe less, because they founded HeartMath 30 years ago or so. But still, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm the only person in Switzerland that's bringing heart intelligence in this way to this country. Um, or really kind of speaking about it this loudly, I think. I'm not sure, but from what I know. So ultimately, emotional intelligence is the intelligence of the heart. It is intuition as well. But then we've got logic and intellect, and that's the intelligence of the head brain. So I don't know if that makes sense to you or if that's explained well, but that's ultimately the difference. It really is. Emotional intelligence is what I would call, also, because there's also body intelligence. So your body will also know and respond. It will move towards something versus move away from something, right? When you feel safe or not safe, right? Your heart will contract or expand if it feels good about something and connected with something or in trust of something. And yeah, so emotional intelligence is the intelligence of the heart. They're one and the same. It's just we're just explaining it from ultimately different perspectives, or it's coming from a different pathway. So yeah, it's one and the same.
I got
And
it. I got it. I can
yeah,
see the connection between it. You cannot uh, be continuously in your ego mindset. I'm still in my ego. Sometimes I notice I
we
started
all
to
are.
be
We're
stalking.
humans.
The stalking is the technique that you basically you pay attention to yourself, like you're the player and I'm the instrument of your game. I'm like your hero of the game. And I noticed I don't understand where it's coming from sometimes. My judgmental mind takes over. I look at the person and I immediately, my ego starts judging. Is this person good looking or not? Is this person, I'm like, wow, why does this matter? You know, what? It's not my nature. I know I'm better than that, you know, but it's still, it's so strongly rooted in us that the ugliness of the ego that makes you judge everybody by their appearances, financial statuses, and all the other stuff. This leads you away, misleads you from the heart that always know the truth. Like it's been proven. You can look it up yourself online. There's so much amazing information on that matter that your heart is actually very intelligent, very powerful tool when you connect both of those center, and then your guts, when you cleanse your system really well, right, on the physical and emotional level, then you're like a super machine. You're not even a Lamborghini. You're something that the movies show, the fantastic movies like the Batman's car or something. Your vehicle, which is your vessel, your body, and your spirit in it becomes so much stronger, so much powerful. There is no reason to deny, oh, this is right, this is wrong, this is the only religion that should be Christianity, or I don't know, Islam or whatever, or like Judaism. It's not about that, you guys. And again, I want to mention, if you haven't seen Layla's Instagram, please check it out. Her last video she made on 22 of February was just fascinating to me. I was watching it for a few
Oh.
times. And also, Layla, we have so much to talk about, but so little time. I just wanted in case people don't know who I am Selena Starlight, the founder of this brain. Actually, I'm astropsychologist. I do astrology and psychology consulting. I wanted Layla to share an honest, small few words review about the session you had with me. We had few sessions, but remember the
Okay.
one where it was I was in LA, you were in Switzerland.
Yeah.
By the way, who didn't know, Layla used to live in LA and in the United States. We met through mutual friends, and my intuition told me, hey, it's 4 in the morning. This girl is amazing. I don't care if you want to sleep, go for it, because you might not have a chance to talk to her for a while. She's so busy. She's such a beautiful soul. I honestly felt it. I was like, Layla, you're the only person. I have hundreds of clients. I'm such a night cat or whatever. I like my nights. I do my creative stuff, my ideas, and then daytime, yeah, I sleep in. I unfortunately I do have such schedule. Even today it was a little bit, oh my God, I have to be ready, put makeup, whatever. But for you, I made this exception honestly because my intuition, my heart told me this girl is amazing. You need to connect her, and you need to connect her spontaneously without any plans, without how your brain usually likes to plan everything, organize. Spontaneous offer in the middle of the night. Can we please have a session now? I said yes. And you are the only person I did this for. And this is absolutely amazing. I just wanted your opinion. How did you feel after the session? What did you learn? What new did you learn about yourself? And, maybe any of that stuff would be beneficial to people to know.
Mhm. I just want to back that up because our mutual friend told me about you. So I immediately wrote to you and and you were like, okay, let's do a session now. Cause I said, can we do a session? What's your soonest availability? And I didn't realize you were in LA. And then you're like, now, but then I didn't realize that your now is 4 a.m. So, I mean, it started off in a wild magical way, of course, because it was just, I felt so grateful that you would hop on the call at 4 a.m. with me. So you blew my mind from the start. Let's just start there. And the session, my goodness, I mean, it was so, you know, I've done many, many sessions with astrologers, intuitives, psychics, mediums, everything. And I shared this, I think, in a testimonial that I shared with you, but your session for me was a whole combination of that. It's like speaking with somebody that understands the stars and my specific unique fingerprint in the stars, right? Because of the chart. And then you just like tune in and you use all of the tools that you've garnered and packed up in your life to share with clients. And I remember, I mean, you pulled out a crystal sword and we were already cutting cords and doing like emotional work. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was truly incredible. It's not your average astrology session. I can just say that. I mean, it really was super unique. It goes, what's that saying? Um, I mean, it goes beyond the stars, or it goes beyond the moon. It goes beyond the moon and it goes into the stars, and then even further than that, because you really intuitively tune in and share incredible tools and insights through so many different mediums beyond just astrology. And it's a ceremony. It's a sacred ceremony. And we did two, and
Thank
pretty
you
soon
so
after
much.
each other.
I do remember the crystal sword. I still have it. I have two actually. When I found this, I was shopping and I was in LA. I found this amazing spot in downtown. When I saw this crystal sword, I was like, oh my God, this is like a warrior of light weapon. It's just unbelievable how powerful are the tools that are
Mm.
super wise. The crystals are very wise. Think about it. They stay inside the mountains, inside the earth for thousands, hundreds of years. How much energy it holds, how much it absorbs. But it's a whole another topic as well. Layla, a lot of talk, a lot of topics to uncover. I think we should definitely find find time in our schedules and have some more lives.
Part
And
two.
I wanted to tell you thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here with me. I know your schedule is super busy. Layla is having a lot on her plate. She's doing a lot of different activities at the same time, and she's socializing as well with her friends and her amazing community she created. She's a can I call you a mistress of school? You're a headmaster.
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, mistress. I don't know. My English, sometimes I confuse words, but
Headmistress, that's hysterical.
headmistress.
Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
gosh.
that's what I meant. Layla is the headmistress of the Heart School that she's launching on April 6th, and we were actually trying to find the most optimal date, astrologically speaking. By the way, those services are available as well. You can turn on your intuition and you can feel yourself, but it wouldn't hurt to ask somebody who knows the numbers to just find out what's the beneficial. For example, you have a very important event, you need to go, you have a court, you have a new job interview, you want to launch a project. Let's use what we have. All the planets are responsible for different areas of life. You need a communication, some basically throat center, so you can be heard and you can hear. You need a Mercury. We have to find the most beneficial day that's ruled by Mercury, like Wednesday. And it's not a secret that Instagram statistics says that Wednesday is the most loaded busy day on social media. It's a middle of the week. Not only because it's a middle of the week, it's also ruled by Mercury. People want to communicate more and stuff like that. And we're not gonna go in detail. We need to wrap up this life. And I was wondering if you will be comfortable to do a few minutes, little tuning into the heart,
Mm.
because honestly, I don't know much about it and I would like to learn more. And I'm sure there's so many people in the world that are lost and they don't even know where to start.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I'll share the quickest way. It's called quick coherence. They use this at the Mayo Clinic, first responders in the States, Cleveland Clinic. Surgeons use this to basically connect, come into coherence, and lower their heart rate variability. So it's really, really quick, and I'll guide you through it. So I invite you to close your eyes and come into a comfortably seated position. And let's just take a few deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you've had an extra tough day, really just exert through your mouth. Really go, let it out. Wiggle your shoulders. We get to be funny and playful as well. We're children at heart. Couple more deep breaths, coming deeper and deeper into the body. Beautiful. I invite you now to bring your hands to your heart and bring your focus in and around the area of your heart. You can move any energy in your head down into your heart, just imagining being aware, having a steady focus in and around your heart. You may suddenly also begin to consciously feel the beat of your heart. It's perfect. Keep breathing. I invite you now to connect with a feeling of appreciation and gratitude. So try to remember or think of somebody that you're truly grateful for, a moment, a person, even an animal, a memory that really makes you feel this incredible feeling and emotion of gratitude or appreciation. And if you can't think of or feel something on the spot, imagine walking on a beautiful beach or in a beautiful field, the sun shining down on you, and just connecting with the elements, with the sound, and feeling that peace within. Let that feeling, that emotion of appreciation and gratitude rest in your heart. You might even feel a tingling sensation, like a percolation, as if so many sparkles of gratitude begin to just percolate throughout your whole heart and chest. Keep connecting deeper and deeper with that emotion, feeling of appreciation and gratitude. Let it bring a smile onto your face as you're in tune with this moment of gratitude and appreciation that you're feeling and remembering. Take a deep breath in and out, and slowly come back to your body, to your now awareness. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Oh my goodness, that was so amazing. It's so important to find this, at least this 5 minutes throughout a busy day, to connect with yourself. You can find more answers within you than even out. You just have to start listening to your intuition. And I really appreciate, Leyla, your beautiful guided meditation. I definitely would love to be a part of your school anytime soon. And
Please.
please stay tuned, keep us updated. We definitely should find a photo of this scale of vibration. I'll
Yeah,
try to
I'll
find it
share it with
online.
you. I have it. Yeah.
And I think it's time to wrap up. The time goes very quickly when you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Thank
I
you so
just
much for being with me.
Thank you so much. And I just want to share, just connect with your heart on a daily basis by remembering to bring your hand to your heart and just connecting with your heartbeat and breathing, and just bring your awareness here. Just moving your awareness from here to here on a daily basis is the number one start to the heart work. And
That's amazing.
I would love to invite all of you, especially women, because Heart Academy is open to women. So yeah, you can send me a DM and we can chat about it. And you can go to standinglight.com to learn all about it, or the link in my bio on Instagram. And I would love to
Sounds
have you
amazing.
enroll and join.
Thank you, my
Thank you
love.
so much.
I wish
Thank
you
you.
a most amazing night. Have a lot of fun. I know you're going to some kind of concert or something like that. Have as much fun as you can, and please always stay in touch with me.
Same, same. It's a
Thank you
documentary
so much.
of my friend. Thank you
Amazing.
so
Thank you
much.
so much,
So much
Nadine.
love.
Guys, thank you for watching. We love you, and we're going to be
Yes.
back soon with more interesting content. Bye, everybody.
Bye.